Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday for some people out there. Welcome to the 2350 Effect. I am the co-host, co-creator of the 2350 Effect, along with myself and Dr. Farronell, the co-host collaborator of 2350 Effect and the 2350 Network. Dr. Farron, introduce yourself to everyone out there and everybody out there. Please tell us where you're coming in from.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Farron. I am the co-host of the 2350 Effect and partner with Damien on the 2350 Network, as well as some other amazing projects we will tell you a little bit more about as our show goes on today. So thank you so much for being here with us. Those of you in the audience, please drop a line in, say hello, tell us where you are tuning in from. We're excited that you're either starting your Monday morning with us or wrapping up your Sunday evening with us wherever you are in the world. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. We've got some great guests for you and some fun things tonight for you to, kind of make your day a little bit brighter for us or for you.
Thank you, Dr. Farron. This is a little bit different. Do you want to introduce the guest?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Absolutely. So we've got two amazing ladies that are members of the 2350 Network that have joined us today. They've also been incredible supporters of the 2350 Network, as well as some of our events that we've hosted, including our upcoming Work-Life Balance Summit. So our first guest is Leslie Flowers. Many of you have probably seen her on LinkedIn. She hosts a variety of different shows. She puts this amazing carousel out for all of us. It just came out. I just reposted it today that talks about all kinds of events. It's kind of like the TV guide for LinkedIn. So greatly appreciate that. I like to really refer to her as that law of attraction expert. If you know anything about law of attraction, go listen to any of Leslie Flowers' live streams. You're going to learn even more about it. So please welcome Leslie Flowers.
Welcome, hi, Leslie.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're delighted to have you. As well as we've got amazing Christy Williams. She is with us tonight. She is everyone's supporter. She does not play favorites. She is supporting as many people as she possibly can in one day. It is incredible. We met her at probably the Virtual Wellness Experience, as well as listening to her on some audio events as a participant. It has been amazing to watch her blossom and grow on this platform. She has, become even more prominent in presenting and being a part of these live events, which we're delighted because we know she has so much to offer to the rest of the world. And so I'm excited to have her be with us. She has joined us for, I think, probably two of our events so far, and she'll be joining us again. And she's also a member of the 2350 Network and is such an amazing contributor and really helps fill people up and support them. She's incredible. Please welcome Christy Williams.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, ladies, both for joining us.
Hey, Christy. Hey, Leslie.
Hi.
And thank you for joining us. And we always start the show off with a... All right, we start off with laugh, call, or text. Laugh, call, text is simply this. What is that thing in the last 7 days that made you laugh out loud? Either call someone or text them.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I have a laugh. I was watching The Real Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin Hart. And it was silly. It was funny. So I laughed.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. The Real Husband. I love Kevin Hart. My daughter loves Kevin Hart. I'm writing
It's a show, but it's all stars.
Okay.
All stars. Yeah, star cast.
I love to laugh too.
Yeah, it's like a spoof comedy.
Sounds fun. I love that kind of stuff. Leslie, do you have a laugh, call, or a text?
Yeah. This is always such a challenge for me. So
Okay.
I'm laughing every day. Let me pass on this. And maybe I'll come in later with one. If that's okay.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
But I can answer all the other things right now. You ready? Here we go. I only need about 20 minutes and I'll start and you just stop me in 20 minutes and I'll have it all done.
Just think about somebody you reached out to this week and had a good conversation with. We'll get back to you later.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to talk about some texting that I've had to do this week that is not a laugh. It is not. It's been logistics. Let me just tell you, sometimes being the mom, the gel, the glue, whatever you want to call it, of the family. And, in the United States, 4th of July, celebrating our Independence Day, is coming up this week. And it has been a lot of texting to coordinate people coming to our lake house and who's coming what day and when and where are they staying and who's bringing what food. And I'm telling you, I'm ready for the day to just be here. It has been so much texting, but I'm excited because my brother's coming down for the first time. We live in the same town, but the lake house he's never been to. And we're excited about getting he and his wife down here. And so we're really looking forward to that with our family. My kids are really excited about their Uncle Rob being here. So they're excited.
I thought of one.
Okay, tell us, Leslie.
That's really neat. I'd love to come to your lake house. That would be so cool.
It is.
Well, my son and his family spent 9 days, just got home Tuesday. No. What is today?
Sunday.
Thank you. Okay, they got home a Friday. Okay, from a 9-day tour in Europe, and the best text I got was when they landed in Boston on their way home, because the day before, the State Department had recommended that U.S. citizens not travel to Europe. But so when I got the text, we made it to Boston. It was a big sigh of relief for me.
Oh, I bet.
Thank God.
Yes, that's what I was doing some praying on that. So it was just, we made it to Boston. That's all I needed to hear, is that they were back in the United States. Other than that, everybody treated them beautifully, they said. There was they didn't get any kind of, not the slightest ruffle in the energy. So that was good.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Great.
Good. See, you had a laugh, call, or text.
Yeah, I did. My first one.
How about you, Damien?
Yeah.
My mom's birthday is this week, and my friend, she has the same birthday as my mom, so my laugh, call, text was to reach out to my mom and my friend and wish happy birthday.
Oh, nice.
That is my laugh, call,
sweet.
text.
Did she like her cake?
Yeah, she did.
Good.
Oh, she eats cake?
Yeah.
See, Christy?
And it wasn't a birthday cake, so.
I don't know how red velvet cake on your birthday is not a birthday cake, but I'm not here to split hairs, so whatever.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
seems to me you guys were talking about that last week. Really.
We've talked about cake a lot. Leslie.
Okay, I thought this was the room.
We did. It was actually a few weeks ago, but yes, exactly. So we want to let everybody get to know you both a little bit more. And I think it would be great to have you guys just kind of we've got some questions for you, some things that we want to know a little bit more about you. So, the first thing is like, what brought you to LinkedIn? Like, here we all collaborated, we all connected here in this space on LinkedIn. So what actually brought you to it? When did you arrive? What were you looking for? What were you hoping to find? And what did you end up finding?
I'll go. I became really active about 3 years ago. I was looking for a job, so I'm here checking to see what was available. And the job market, since it's like, a game, it's like the Hunger Games, you can't find a job. It's like up and down. So I decided to make a personal brand. I decided to brand myself. So wherever I go, I bring my empathy, I bring my energy, and I bring my customer service skills. So that's what I bring to wherever I go.
You do. You really, really do. It is incredible. Absolutely. A lot of people, we've learned a lot from Christy. So I will say she has taught us a lot. You really have about LinkedIn and about that sort of customer service piece. So thank you for sharing that. Leslie, how about you? What brought you to LinkedIn?
Well, like many people, I signed up a decade or more ago. And it was completely corporate business professional job hunting. And I've always been very fortunate in getting jobs. I didn't need LinkedIn for that. And I hung out on Facebook. And right after the pandemic, my laptop was hacked and a phishing scam went out on Facebook and they banned me. Now, I had a group of 1,000 women that called One Woman's Voice that I opened the day Donald Trump was first elected in, when was it, 2016? So I've had that group for a long time and I had monetized it. So when they kicked me off, I spent a year doing everything, talking to everybody who thought they knew how. And anyway, the writing was on the wall. So I had no choice. I'd been telling my clients, oh, go over to LinkedIn while I was still on Facebook because people make more money there. There are more opportunities there. But I wasn't following my own advice. So eventually the universe hit me on the back of the head with a 2x4 and said, now follow your own advice. So I came over here right after the pandemic. And it's very different than Facebook. I'm really happy because the level of emotional intelligence is incredibly high here, and particularly compared to what's going on Facebook and the other platforms. So, but it's taken a couple of years. I really had to start over again because I had the account, but so that's how I got here.
Nice. I think I did too. I don't even know what year I probably signed up originally, and then it just laid dormant for the longest time. And about that same time, I was able to kind of dive in looking for the position I currently have. So it is great. Damien, what do you want to add?
Oh, for me, one of my coworkers created a page for me early LinkedIn era. I looked at it twice and just left it there. She was like, you got to be on LinkedIn. I'll sign you up. And I was like, what? Okay. And I looked at it twice. She showed this to me. I logged in, forgot all about it. Later on, like when I started this particular journey, another former coworker of mine, friend of mine said, hey, you got to get active on LinkedIn. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And then we went on LinkedIn, went on the page. He talked to me about, finding resources, finding ways to support the kids that I worked with at my own previous job, and I kind of went from there. So that's kind of how I got on LinkedIn. It was other people saying, get on it and putting me on it and getting me involved in it.
My daughter encouraged me. She said, Mom, you've got to get on LinkedIn and you need to message these people that you're wanting to talk to about this job. And I was like, what? No way. There's no way I'm going to do that. And then here I am now, hosting rooms all the time and enjoying this and enjoying the company of so many other professionals on the site. So just amazing. Amazing. I want to take a second. I know Damien's been popping some people in and thanking people for being here as he's typing messages in. My messages don't go to you. I'm not streaming to LinkedIn because I take the opportunity to stream to other platforms like the Creative Living Ideas YouTube page as well as Creative Living Ideas Facebook page. So I'm going to give you my verbal thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here, Nick and Margaret. I appreciate you joining us tonight. Johnny Penn, thank you very, very much. Noni, appreciate you. Henry, thank you very much for being here. And anyone that I may have missed as well, I appreciate you joining me. Sometimes we don't see these until after the show, so please know that we do appreciate it. We're happy to have you here. All right, let's ask another question. So my next question for you is, who's a person that you met through LinkedIn? Like in your field or in your area that you didn't know before being on this platform, or somebody that you just want to say, I can't believe I met this person and they've become a great blah, 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 or whatever.
There's
I
too
haven't met
many.
anybody yet.
You haven't? Yeah. That's a better answer, right? Because one is not a good answer, is it, Christy?
But we will meet.
You haven't met anybody in your field, Christy? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, no one, none of my connections yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I met a lot of people that I didn't know before I got here. Is it significant? I have a very small group of very close people that I've met here on LinkedIn that they're the kind of friends that will be friends forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then I have relationships with, I don't want to get ahead. Oh, that's the next.
You're fine. You're good. You're fine.
So like the most exciting thing that happened to me last year was, or late the year before, was meeting Aaron Gibson and being on his show, because then when I got ready to launch Errata last year, it worked out perfectly based on his work and my imagination and his expertise to build something quite incredible and unexpected together. Both of us are fire signs, and we spent all last summer creating a 7.5-minute trailer, which is really like a movie, which follows the book and has all the elements in the book. So that was extraordinary. And, then I started doing some writing and met Nicole. So Nicole Angai, Nick. And it turns out that the three of us have kind of formed this unit of accountability, and we're in completely different fields. So when you talk about a person that you've met, there are many people, but I think that accountability group for me has been the most extraordinary, unexpected thing for me. It's just was so much fun.
I love that.
So much
You
fun.
did have a lot of fun last summer with that part of your book, for sure.
I mean, he made me. So here's the thing: the man made my dreams come true.
Right.
What was my dream? My dream was to have me be the star of the movie, but at 17.
Yeah.
Right. And he did that. Right. I mean, how do you do that? Well, AI. Right. But he's also very, very good at what he does. So anyway, that's kind of the highlight. But there's so many things, so many people that I've met here. Very few actually from Facebook, because they stay over there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
They stay there. So there were a few that have dribbled over here. Right. But yeah. So that's it for me.
Nice.
Aaron is talented.
Yes, he is. He is. Damien, how about you?
I kind of answered this question last week, but when I was thinking about it, I'm gonna give another name because it is about people you met in the area. When I was in DC, I met um, I probably would say Fontaine Lane.
You met Felipe, didn't you?
No, I said that last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I picked him last week, so I wanted to come up with a different name. Um, and through her, I was able to. When I met her, she had a lot of like great energy. She's retired, and she was doing a lot of community stuff. She got me into Noble, which is National Organization of Black and Law Enforcement. We were able to give out help out with Toys for Tots during Christmas,
Oh,
giving out safety kits to parents. So it was kind of up my alley, that like community outreach stuff in the DC area, DC Maryland, Virginia area. So I kind of wanted to think about somebody who I didn't talk about, who has been supportive, who's come to like audio events and stuff. And I would have to say Fontaine Lane was somebody that is great, that I met and does a lot of community outreach stuff. So
nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Nice. I would agree. There have been so many amazing connections. It's super hard to just pick one.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about just now is the beauty of the connection to the connection to the connection to the connection, and how that is. And I encourage anyone that's out there listening to reach out and connect to somebody, because you never know where that connection is going to lead you, as far as a friendship, a business opportunity, additional knowledge for yourself, like what you're going to learn from this person. It's incredible. And I'm going to say, Dr. Qureshi and I met a couple years ago through Damien. And she's part of the network, and she's presented at the summits. But you know what? This past year, we've really connected with our parenting projects. And,
Mhm.
I've introduced her to some people who are really, blazing the trail with, different parenting, projects that they're doing. She's been incorporating, the social work, the psychology pieces of professionals into it, and we're really merging this really beautiful arena for parents, and that has been super super fun to do. Absolutely love that, and it is fun, and I'm learning so much. I mean, I felt like my world of parenting was so huge, but it wasn't. It was about this big. And now I'm learning so much more from other cultures and,
Mhm.
other people's views and other people's styles. It's been really incredible. So yeah, that's been really, really fun.
yeah, Dr. Qureshi is amazing. Like if you meet her virtually, it's something else. When you meet her in person, her energy, and if she's doing a presentation in person, is unbelievable. Her energy in person is unbelievable. She's really a great person. I'm glad that that's one of the people that you picked as well.
Yeah,
I like her. She's a good person.
she is. She really is.
Speaking of things and individuals and listening and meeting people, a lot of us met each other through audio rooms, and the audio room experience was such a great experience. Tell me, so what was the impact on the audio rooms for you? Like, how did it
The impact of it was huge. It's like life changing because it brought me out of a shell. I'm not shy, but I'm introverted. So it brought me out of a shell where I learned how to speak, and it helped me to learn I have something to say. And it helped me to develop my public speaking, and it helped me to meet some really good friends. So I think my first room was probably Find Your Purpose or Wishful Wednesdays by Damien and Jackie. And I've been there ever since. So I'm growing with it.
I agree. I love that you really highlighted the difference between being shy and an introvert. I love that.
Mhm.
And it has been really fun to watch you blossom, and you do have things to say that are valuable for people to hear.
Yeah,
You really
yeah.
do. Mhm.
For sure. For sure. Well, I loved them.
I did too.
And I had rooms with 65 and up people, and I cannot replicate that in the same way. And, we have to go along with the change. right? We can resist, but there are other more important things to resist. And we figured out a way to make it work, right?
Mhm.
But it's nothing matches what those audio rooms were. And I think LinkedIn made a big mistake. Honestly, I'm sure that it was had finances were behind it. Why they did that, because they couldn't handle the traffic. If you notice that people were getting bumped out all the time, maybe they needed to invest in load balancers and more infrastructure. And at the same time, video was getting big. And then you had these streaming platforms. So they made a deal, obviously, right? And it's been good for the streaming platforms, but for us, it's not our first choice, and so we're doing the best we can. Many people simply jumped ship. And for me, the thing I love about LinkedIn, you guys, is I don't want to dilute my experience. I don't want to invest more time than what I do here on LinkedIn by jumping into other platforms, right? So that's why I do the carousel. And what happened last year when that announcement came, people jumped ship, right? But then there were many of us that were willing to at least see how it goes. And I'll be honest with you, the alternatives have their challenges too. But what it did is it really diluted our communities significantly when people were afraid, right? That they were grasping to find something that looked like the audio room or that operated as Simply. And this takes a little doing. You got to understand the link and go into the studio and all that stuff. So I miss it. I did. I loved it. I think that was the heyday. And I'm not sure where we are other than we're moving through doing our work, using what is available and not railing against it, but just finding better ways to serve people.
I felt like it was, well, first of all, I felt like there were a lot more opportunities to join audio rooms. More people were doing them. And I felt like I could just hop on and I could just open my phone and see who's talking. And I could just join something. And that was, the trip from my house to the lake house is 2.5 hours. There would be nothing for me to turn somebody's audio room on and drive down here and listen to it. And I loved it. Now I could do that with the lives, but I don't see them as readily. You know what I mean? They don't happen to pop in as much. And that's the one thing that I really enjoyed, was just being able to listen to it, or to be able to do one early in the morning, maybe as I was getting ready. Damien and I had started, I think we only did one, but we were going to do like a coffee or a water cooler Wednesday type of a thing. And it was super fun. Like we just sat and were chatting with people, and it really just brought such a welcoming vibe. And I know there were other people that had similar episodes or similar shows like that they did. And I felt like it was just, it was people's car time. They were driving in the car. They were listening to something. It was like, talk radio kind of a thing. And I miss it. I really do. I really miss it. There
was a lady, excuse me for interrupting you.
No, you're good.
There was a lady who was a professional musician. I think she's piano and harp. And in the middle of the night, when I couldn't sleep, she practiced. She opened up the audio room and just practiced, and people would stop in. It was much more community oriented. Right. And I think the reason that you don't see as many lives is because those people jumped ship. Yeah, and they're now operating on other platforms, or they're not operating at all. Because I'll ask people, you got people on Zoom. I mean, there's just so many. It's just diluted. Right. It diluted my community. And that's what I think I miss the most.
Yeah. I don't know which one I went on first. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Christy.
No, we didn't have the pressure. We didn't have to be on camera. It was
Yes.
laid back. You know, there was a rumor that I had a show, and I probably would have had a show if I if I didn't have to be on camera for the whole hour, 30 minutes.
Sure.
It would have been laid back. So it
Right.
made it, yeah, it's a lot more, we're restricted, you know.
There
to
is.
this
We
stuff.
have to go to hair and makeup. Damien doesn't get that. I usually would run in and be
Yeah,
like,
look, I had to do all
I
of
just,
this.
I just
know.
got out of hair and makeup and I'm going to go to bed after this.
There are some
I
people
know.
that do their lives without being live. I mean, without,
Right. I know.
Camera.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't
which is
do it.
weird. It's kind of weird in a way, but if I have a guest, I'm doing a little shift on the format for Mind Over Matter Mondays. And so if I have a guest that doesn't want to be on camera, I feel as though I ought to respect them. Maybe I'm wrong, but, and also not be on camera, right? In deference to their preference. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know, but I'm going to
I
tell
think
you,
it's good.
even when people are not on camera and it's alive, I watch it. Why is that? I'm watching it. And there's nobody there, but I'm still watching it. I don't get it. I can't jump. I can't jump over. Damien, I know you're heartfelt about these audio rooms. Tell everyone how you're feeling.
No, I think it was a different level of community, you know. It in the beginning it was like, you know, you're going into these rooms. I was going into a lot of rooms and, you know, people, their audience was their audience and people were trying to build their audience, get people to the right environment. Hey, Brenda Lees. And we got to meet a lot of people through audio rooms. And also we got to bring your connections into the audio rooms and space. So, you know, it was like people who I knew from work. It was people I knew from childhood, people I knew from school, individuals who I met on LinkedIn, people I had coffee chats, and we would bring them into spaces like Finding Your Purpose, you know, and coming to spaces and rooms and places. And even when you're able to not even, like, people can't even come in and say, like, I feel bad, I can't make it. And it was like, it's okay. You can't make everything. I appreciate you, you know, just for even saying, you know what, I can't make it, or clicking on or liking it or reading the post or, you know, supporting it. And it was just about that level of community. And even with the people in this room, got to build like relationships through situations, you know. Like Leslie couldn't make it a lot of times. She's like, her grandkid has baseball, you know, and I would check in with her while the room was going on. How's it going, you know? And it was able to build those relationships. Same thing with like Christy and, you know, coming into Finding Your Purpose, then going to Wishful Wednesday and being able to support. And it was just building that level of community with people, because we didn't know what it was at that point in time when we were doing it. We were just doing it because we wanted to share information with people. And that's just what it was all about, transferring the information. And then it started growing into something bigger, and it became this level of community, you know, all over the place, where people supported each other, people respect each other's expertise and knowledge, and like, okay, I got a chance to meet some cool people who are in my area, and I didn't even know you lived here, or somebody from a different state or a different country, you know, learning different people's dialogues, dialects, time in, time zone, and, you know, getting that level of, you know, human connection was so great. And I think it continues here because it just looks different, you know. It's never going to be the same like the audio rooms. It's just going to be a different version of what it is, and we just have to figure out and find out what that new is, and just go from there, you know. And it's warm, so, you know, people probably enjoying their vacation, summer, and as they say, when any's from their holiday.
Right.
Yeah, we need that connection, though. We need to stay connected.
Yes, we definitely do.
I miss it. I miss
Yeah,
it.
I missed it too. You know, maybe we just do a series having a conversation around audio rooms. Be the next chapter.
Maybe everybody needs to kind of mourn it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we all say our piece, we'll feel better and we can all move on.
Well, the thing is we've had to move on.
We have, right?
Right. And so
There's no
you know,
closure, Leslie.
huh? Well,
there
there
was no
is
closure.
even if LinkedIn came out and said, okay, here's why we did this, right? We did this for it's still, even if with the clarity of why they did it, because they had some sort of reason for making that kind of move. I, I'm sure they've heard from the public about this because, people are up in arms about it, but I don't even pay for this. So, I mean, I kind of feel like if I was investing in LinkedIn, maybe I would have a voice. But honestly, I'm just grateful that the platform is here and that I
Yeah.
get to, that's the truth of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You want to take a quick little break here, Damien? We want to talk about a couple things and then come back to the questions.
Yeah, we can take a quick little break to talk about the virtual or the work-life balance summit.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard about this, the Work-Life Balance Summit is October 3rd and 4th of 2025. We have, oh my gosh, already 24 different presenters. We'll probably end up with 26 presenters. It's a 2-day virtual event. Early Bird Special is still going on through July 15th. Tickets for both days on the Early Bird Special are only $75. So if you go to Creative Living Ideas website, click on the Work-Life Balance Summit at the top. You can go through, you can get the tickets. You can see some videos about from last year that are just some things to get started until we get the new reels up. And then this is just some more information about last year. And then there's also some testimonials from former presenters and attendees that were at the summit. So make sure that you check it out. We're going to have topics on all of these things in here and more, and amazing presenters like Leslie Flowers, and Christy has been in attendance to these in the past as well. We would love for her to present, but all in due time when she feels comfortable and is ready. We totally get it, but and we've got other amazing people that are presenting or have presented in the audience. Brenda Lees, Nick has presented in the past with us. I don't know anybody else in the audience that has, but grab your ticket, come and join us. It is virtual and the event is recorded for up to a month. You can go back and watch the recordings of anyone that you missed or anything that you didn't see. And it's such a fun time. We have the best time. And then
Life-changing.
what'd you say? Life-changing. Yes.
Life-changing.
It really is. It really has been for many, many people. So we love that. We want this to grow. So if you know of anyone, your business, your company, your organization, please reach out to us. We do have sponsor opportunities. So if you would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to myself or Damien and we'll get to you about that. They're affordable options for you. And again, the tickets are $75 right now through July 15th. So grab your tickets for the 2 days for $75. And then did we want to talk about the network or just that?
Yeah, we could quickly talk about the network.
All right, the 2350 network is amazing network that we host. Damien and I coordinate and host. These two ladies are members of the 2350 network. As a member of the network, we highlight you on the show, the 2350 Effect. You can go to 2350network.com and you can see about our mission, vision, and brand values. You can also go in to the calendar and you can see the events that we have. We host events every month. In fact, one thing that in the July one, we have book club. So no, actually, I think it's in June. We have it tomorrow. I don't even remember what day it is either, Leslie. The date, I don't know. But we have our book club on Let Them by Mel Robbins starting tomorrow. So we have lots of fun things that we do inside the 2350 network, as well as a member feature. Leslie was our member feature for quite a while, and now Dr. Rowe is our member feature. And she has an amazing I Thrive Empowered Minds magazine for kids. You can click that and get access to it. It takes you to her site there. So check that out. She's an incredible professional educator and hosts an amazing leadership summit, women's leadership, and does incredible work. right.
They must have to answer the phone.
I guess he must have had to answer the phone. No worries about that. We can continue on, ladies. So,
Yes.
all right. So, this is just finish the sentence with whatever you want to finish it with. Leslie is, or Christy is. Who wants to go first? Leslie is. How would you describe yourself, or what do you want to say about Leslie? Leslie is. Christy is.
Well, I could talk about Christy.
Okay, that's what
Talk about
Christy
Christy.
is a huge supporter. Christy is a wonderful friend. Yeah, she's all those things. What is Leslie? Leslie is a teacher and a nana and an author.
Our mentor,
Thank you. A
our
mentor.
mindset trainer.
A mindset trainer. Thank you. Thank you. I have some areas of expertise. Most of them are backed up by results. So, I'm mostly think of myself as a master teacher of the mind. Let's put it that way. That you can make it simple that way. Hey, Charles. So good. He had a question. What did he say? Oh, what was that LinkedIn took away that you miss? Well, that's what we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about audio rooms, Charles. That's what we were talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you were over in China.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All
So
Yeah, Leslie is amazing. Christy is pretty awesome because
Yeah.
now I know my worth. Now I learned my worth and I don't listen to the lies.
That's
So,
right. I love that.
and it's an aspiration to know your worth because our worth is always evolving. Right? So you can know it today, but tomorrow it will be different or it could be bigger. And so none of it is easy. It's just really about keeping your feet moving in baby steps. And no matter what you're doing, just keep moving your feet. Right? That's what we did with the audio rooms when they went away. That's what we
Right.
have to do. Was it Mary Morrissey? Her phrase is you can reach the top of Mount Everest taking baby steps, but you just can't stop. Right? So as long as you continue to move, or as Les Brown said, if you find yourself in hell, keep moving your feet. Right? So don't stop. And really, that's it. Just put it one foot in front of the other, call a friend, right? Join a live,
Yeah,
right?
with the network, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people here that are available and have said that want to contribute. And most of us, I think, well, a lot of people are reluctant to accept contribution, particularly women. For me anyway, it's about, oh, I got that as a mom raising kids, oh, I got it. But it's really delightful now that I can't drive. Well, I can't see out of one eye, right? Now I have people driving me. And it's like the reverse. And I'm so grateful. I don't know why I went down that road, but anyway, I'm done.
That's all right. That's all right. It was meant to be said. So perfect. Thank you very much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Damien, what question do you want to ask the ladies?
I want to ask a positive question. What is something that brings you pride, something powerful and positive that brings you joy? What are you proud of, and what is something that brings you joy? Either one you could pick.
Oh, what brings me joy? Okay. What brings me joy is cats. My cats, my son, I'll put him on there too, but the cats, because I always had a cat in my life. I've always had a cat, cats would walk me home from the bus stop. I always had a friendly neighborhood cat.
Oh my gosh, that's sweet.
Back in the 60s, we would have thought that was a guy. He's a very cool cat. Maybe 50. The cool cats used to follow me home, right?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to tell you what I'm the most proud of. And this has been happening a lot lately, and I haven't actually told anybody. But I've been getting messages from people and people saying it publicly that I've inspired them to take action. I've had a couple of people reach out and say that they're doing a live now because they saw what I was doing and they wanted to do it. And then I get private audio messages from people just thanking me for what I'm doing. And it's humbling. It's humbling. And you're the first people who have known, really, because I haven't told anybody.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, and that's another laugh called text.
Huh?
That's another laugh called text. Go ahead, Christy.
Oh, yeah.
No, she is an inspiration.
Thank you.
Love
How
that.
about you, Dr. Farron? What brings you joy?
Oh my gosh. You know, a lot. I'm in this, I guess I've always been, but I guess I'm in the season of recognizing that I'm only going to do things that bring me joy. You know, I only want to work where it's joyful and fun. And I do bring the tone to my job by being the leader there. And so I'm about that. You know, my family brings me joy, spending time with them. The fact that they want to be with us, they want to hang out with my husband and I, you know, on a Saturday night, bring the dogs over, barbecue, hang out. That brings me joy, you know. The fact that when they're out of town, that they call or send pictures of what they're doing to include us, that brings me joy. Like, that's just where I'm at. You know, I'm not about any Debbie Downers. I can't do that in my life anymore. We're up. I want to uplift people. I want to feel uplifted. You know, I don't know. I was kind of joking with my stepdad as he turned 70 recently. And I just said, you just need to live that your life like Tim McGraw's song, My Next 30 Years, right? And if you don't know the song, the next 30 years, listen to the lyrics of it. It's that you're going to laugh a little bit more. You might cry a little bit more. You're going to, you know, find joy in the little things in life. So, yeah. How about you, Damien?
For me, it's people wanting to help each other and get out of the comfort zone. That's the biggest thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
You like watching other people grow that you've helped.
Yeah, I like other people doing well and watching other people win.
You do. He's the great connector. And so he wants to, he does. He's like, he gets great pleasure out of connecting people and then watching that relationship flourish or that project flourish. And I think that's incredible. That's good.
Yeah, he's connected me with a handful of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know. I'm excited about Brenda Lee's. You know, those of you that are listening, the 2350 Network is having a retreat that we are planning to try and we're going to meet in person. And I'm excited about Brenda Lee's. She's talking about doing some breath work with us, and it's after the Work-Life Balance Summit. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have her in person, getting us to where we need to be. So
I'm ready to breathe. Yes, I'm ready to breathe.
With Brenda Lee. And in person is just going to be just dynamic, you know, it's just going to be dynamic. So anyway, last couple of questions or last question. I like this one. What is one thing that can turn a bad moment into a positive one for you? So like, what's a strategy or something that you use that you could that turns a bad moment into a positive one?
My music, my playlist. You know, I'll tell her to put on some music, and it could be Beyonce, it could be Kirk Franklin, but it's going to be something to lift me up and take my mood and make sure I stay positive.
Yeah. Music is powerful, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Leslie?
Well, as soon as there's a bad moment, I know about the law of polarity, and I know there's a lesson. I've practiced this. So when I had a small a stroke in my eye, I say small, right? I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? What's small to one? I never once was the victim. I went, oh, I'm so grateful that it wasn't worse, that I have a second eye, and never went to the negative. So it's the ability to sort of catch myself before I go down the road of negativity, or I react based on fear of not seeing, not being able to drive anymore. But I got to tell you, it's great having people drive me around now. I feel like I'm being chauffeured. But
Okay.
that's it.
I love to be driven. I don't like to drive.
Right. Well, the thing is to be aware that for every single negative experience, there's a matching positive one. For every up, there's a down in every case. So it's just really up to us to say, okay, but we've been raised on an F is failure, and that's bad. So we already have faith in the fact that failure is a bad thing. So you can teach yourself to shift that and say that failure is how we learn. Because through the failure, all you have to do is bump over to the other side, which is exact opposite, and think those thoughts, and they're positive. And that's what I did. I became grateful instantly. I didn't even go to fear, but it wasn't always that way.
Well, Leslie, I'm really glad that you said it wasn't always that way, because I've been trying to train my brain for a long time. Probably we're getting 16 years or so. And it's practice. I mean, it really is practice to do that. And that's powerful that you were able to just automatically go to, some gratitude about it and, positive thinking, things like that, because you really can go down and spiral. So I want to answer Tracy's question. So Tracy said, please, why 2350? What is the name from? And Damien, do you want to answer this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. So the 2350, the numbers are actually there's 24 hours in a day, and we tend to get in a situation when we lose sight of things because something happens. Somebody runs into our car, somebody steps on our feet, somebody cuts us off, somebody doesn't say please or thank you, and we get upset. And those moments are about 5 to 10 minutes long. And there's 24 hours in a day, so we kind of lose sight of the other 23 hours and 50 minutes a day. So the whole thing is about don't let 5 or 10 minutes disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day.
Right.
So that's what it's about.
Yeah. So, Damien shared that at a presentation that he did. And I said, that's it. That's the name for the network and the name for the show. And so we did that because, our goal here is to uplift as many people as possible. Now, I'm going to agree with you, Charles. I love that. Go for a forest bath or a hike in the woods. For me, I really try to practice what Leslie was talking about. It is critically important that we don't spiral and stay in these negative mindsets because they're harsh for our bodies, our systems. And, I have to, if I remove myself from a space and go in another room or go outside, I can change my mindset so much faster. And if I start moving, then I can start thinking clearly about it instead of going into that spiral downward doomsday. Oh my gosh, what could happen next, right? Go in there, move, think, pray, whatever it is that you need to do, but finding your way. Yeah. And, for me, journaling and writing, there's been I've learned a lot of amazing things from people, which is why I host the Work-Life Balance Summit and the virtual wellness experience. So people like Leslie and Christy can participate, share out, teach people different methods. But some of them, there's a variety of different ways that you can journal as well. To get yourself out of that mindset. It may take several days or weeks to work on, but there's lots of methods that you can use.
Yes, a repetition.
Really?
That mindset is repetition. Yeah, recently I had to use it. I had work at a call center where this guy called me everything from the N word to the C word to the B word. And I had to breathe. I had to be like Brenda Leese. I had to breathe. I had to breathe. And then I had to breathe. And then like a couple seconds later, I just brushed it off and just went to the next call. And I was pleasant because it wasn't the next person's fault.
Right.
So you have to use it every day. You have to be mindful.
You do.
Like
you
you have to be mindful of repetition.
You can be empathetic. You can actually go a step further, Christy. Blowing it off is wonderful, but the step further is the poor dear. Wonder what's gone wrong in his world, right? Because it has nothing to do with you. So you could actually even feel sorry for them. Sounds like you're not having a really good day today, sir.
I'm not there yet.
Christy, she just needed Beyonce to come on. That's all. She had to turn Beyonce on and change it. I get it.
I love it.
I love it. Damien, how about you? The big sigh.
He doesn't like to talk about himself.
We make him.
Well, he's got a mustache. Okay, so you're sporting a mustache. This is a new facial feature.
No, I've always had this.
Always had that.
Well, maybe it's because I could only see with one eye that I see it now.
Maybe.
It's thicker or something. It looks thicker.
Yeah. I'm now a little track of what the question is. I'm gonna do the rest of the show like boom.
It was what? Okay, the question was what turns basically a negative moment into a positive moment. But Dr. Farrett says it better than me.
Now it's the mustache. That's what I'm go with. You know, I guess it's just positive self-talk and talking about, you know, there's so many things that go on in life in the world, and saying that it's not that serious. It could be worse. There's always somebody that's willing to trade places with you. So I always look at it from that space.
Gratitude.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Daily gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also, again, you know, I don't surround myself with a bunch of negative Nancys. I just can't. So got to stay positive. It's always healthy.
Yeah, I met one. Yeah, I had to stop talking to her.
You met
Only one?
Complaints every day. I had to, you know.
Only one. Oh my God.
I love it. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Thank you, Charles, for all your participation. I appreciate that your information that you're sharing. Listen for the commitment behind the other person's. I can hear you're committed to transparent communication. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing that.
That's nice.
Well, we are close to the end, and we always end with what, Damien? What do we end with?
You always end with a quote.
Absolutely. We always end with a quote. So I'm ready. I think this is fun. You guys are my friends. I'm going to go first. There is nothing better than a friend unless it is a friend with chocolate. So you might know the way to my heart. Dark chocolate is my preference these days. Sea salt and caramel.
Oh, yeah.
Get behind that, huh, Christy?
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, I can go. So Will Smith said, if you're not moving forward, you're actually moving behind. Something to that effect.
Similar to Leslie's baby steps, right? I love that.
Mhm.
Nice.
Okay, I got one. I just had to pull it up so I could read it. Here we go. This is my favorite one. If one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life which they have imagined, they will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau.
I
I love
believe
that.
you did that before with
Yeah,
us.
basically what it says is that if you just advance confidently, move in the direction of your dream and endeavor, like try to live the life you've imagined, you'll meet with success in uncommon hours, meaning that the success isn't going to come from your day job and that paycheck. It's going to come from seeds you've sown, dreams you've had, and it always surprises you. So real success comes when you're not expecting it.
I love it. Yeah, it won't come from my day job. I love it.
That's right. It's not coming. If big money is not coming
It's not
from
coming from that call center.
no.
All right, and as always, I'll close with this. This is my favorite quote. Here's my quote that we go by for the 2350 Network. Don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Make every moment, every minute of every day count. The 2350 Network. It is time to bring people together. And speaking of
Together we stand. Together.
thank you all for being together with us, spending time with us, and joining us. We are not here next week because it is, holiday, right? Vacation holiday.
Yeah.
You want to call it
Yeah.
something like that. So we won't be here. But do check out Leslie's 10 a.m. show with Nick. Go to her page and click on it. She also has a show on Friday. She has end of the week, beginning of the week, end of the week shows. Check out Christy. She's been going around the circuit. She has been doing lives. Get on her page, connect with her. She is really a great support person. And check out the 2350 Network page and also the Work-Life Balance Summit, where you can see Leslie Flowers there, and I'm quite sure Christy will be at the 23 the Work-Life Balance Summit. With that said, everybody, thank you, and just I guess have a good night, right?
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Good
Bye.
night.
Hi, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for attending the 2350 Effect. If you are interested in becoming a guest or a sponsor, please contact Damien or Dr. Tanya. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 2350 Effect.